Welcome back. Today, we're diving into a harsh truth. The American dream isn't dead, but it's definitely out of reach for many. Homeownership, stable jobs, and financial independence once seemed like guarantees for anyone willing to work hard. But with skyrocketing housing prices, student debt, and a rapidly changing economy, achieving the dream feels increasingly impossible for many Americans. So, what happened? And what can we do about it? Stick around as we break down why the American dream is slipping away and what it really takes to make it today. If you're interested in more real talk, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss a video. 1. The escalating cost of homeownership. For decades, owning a home was seen as the cornerstone of the American dream. But for many, that dream is slipping away. With rising home prices and interest rates, purchasing a house has become a nearly impossible goal for young Americans. Millennials and Gen Z find themselves priced out of the market, with homeownership seemingly reserved for the wealthier segments of society. As wages have failed to keep up with housing prices, saving for a down payment has become a daunting task. Even those who can afford the basics are often burdened with massive student loans, leaving them with little financial flexibility. What was once a path to financial security has now become a distant dream for the average American. 2. The burden of student loan debt. Student loan debt is one of the most significant financial barriers to achieving the American dream. For many young adults, the dream of a prosperous future is burdened by years of debt repayment. With the cost of college continuing to rise, students graduate with degrees, but also with financial obligations that can take decades to pay off. Many Americans are finding themselves in debt before they even begin their careers, which leaves them with little financial freedom. This debt significantly limits their ability to invest in things like buying a home, saving for retirement, or even starting a family. 3. The gig economy and job insecurity. Job security has always been a key element of the American dream, but that security has become harder to come by. With the rise of the gig economy, many workers are now employed on short-term contracts with no benefits or stability. This shift from full-time, stable jobs to freelance or temporary work has left many without the safety net that once came with a regular paycheck. While gig work offers flexibility, it also means a lack of consistent income and fewer protections for workers. As companies increasingly rely on part-time or contract workers, the promise of a stable, lifelong career is no longer guaranteed. For many, this results in a constant struggle to maintain a work-life balance and plan for the future. 4. The decline of the middle class. The middle class has long been seen as the foundation of the American dream, but over the past few decades, it has steadily eroded. As wages stagnate and the cost of living increases, fewer people are able to maintain their place in the middle class. The disparity between the wealthy and the rest of the population has grown wider, and economic mobility has become increasingly difficult. Many middle-class families are finding themselves struggling to make ends meet, despite working multiple jobs. The dream of upward mobility seems out of reach for a growing number of Americans. 5. The rising cost of healthcare. Healthcare costs have risen dramatically in recent years, making it harder for many Americans to maintain their financial stability. The high cost of insurance, medical bills, and prescription drugs places an enormous strain on household budgets. For many families, medical expenses are one of the largest costs they face, often pushing them into debt or causing them to delay important healthcare services. The lack of affordable healthcare options further complicates the pursuit of the American dream. People are forced to choose between paying for medical care and covering other essential expenses like housing or education. Healthcare should be a basic right, but for many, it's become a financial burden that keeps them from reaching their full potential. 6. The pressure of rising living costs. Living costs have skyrocketed in many parts of the country, particularly in urban areas where jobs and opportunities are most plentiful. Rent and utilities are eating up a larger portion of people's incomes, leaving little room for savings or investment. Housing prices are rising faster than wages, and many Americans find themselves struggling to keep up with their day-to-day expenses. The cost of basic necessities, food, transportation, and education has outpaced inflation, further pushing the American dream out of reach. For many, it's no longer a question of living comfortably. It's about just getting by. This financial pressure has led to increased stress and anxiety, with many Americans working longer hours just to make ends meet. 7. The wealth gap and economic inequality. The wealth gap in the United States has reached staggering levels, with the richest Americans accumulating more wealth, while the majority of the population sees little to no growth in their earnings. The concentration of wealth in the hands of a few has made it increasingly difficult for the average person to build financial security. This growing inequality has had a profound effect on the ability of most people to achieve the American dream. The disparity in wealth means fewer opportunities for economic mobility and fewer resources for education, healthcare, and homeownership. As the rich continue to get richer, the chances for upward mobility seem to diminish for the rest of the population. 8. The shift from saving to debt. In the past, Americans could build wealth by saving, investing, and living within their means. However, the rise of consumer debt has shifted the financial landscape. Credit cards, student loans, and mortgages have become a way of life, with many people living paycheck to paycheck. This reliance on debt has made it difficult to accumulate savings and prepare for the future. As debt continues to grow, people find themselves trapped in a cycle where they are forced to borrow more just to keep up with daily expenses. 9. The impact of technology on job opportunities. While technology has revolutionized many industries, it has also displaced workers and made it harder for many people to find stable jobs. Automation, AI, and robotics have replaced jobs in fields like manufacturing, retail, and even customer service, leaving many workers without opportunities to build a secure future. These advancements have concentrated wealth in the hands of those who own the technology, while leaving the average worker behind. 10. The changing definition of success. The definition of success has shifted in recent years, and what was once considered the American dream may no longer be attainable for many people. Success used to be defined by owning a home, having a stable job, and being able to retire comfortably. Today, however, success is more often measured by the ability to survive in a world where financial security is no longer a given. With rising costs, job insecurity, and economic inequality, many people have redefined success to focus on financial survival rather than wealth accumulation. Thanks for watching. It's clear that while the American dream is still alive, it's become a lot harder to reach for many. The rising cost of living, skyrocketing housing prices, and mounting student debt are just a few of the factors making financial stability feel out of reach. However, it's important to remember that the dream hasn't vanished, it's simply evolved, and we need to adapt to new realities. So, what are your thoughts on the changing landscape of the American dream? Share your insights in the comments, and if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell to stay updated on all our future discussions. Thanks for being part of the conversation, and I'll see you in the next one.